When you look at ADD, ADHD, kids that are not behaving well, one, there's no sound diagnosis for it. It's observational, based on criteria, and if you meet so many of the criteria, then you're categorized. I'll be honest with you, I've taken the test several times. I fit in that category, and which I find kind of funny. When you have a child, or an adult for that matter, that has a lot of these symptoms going on, they're fidgety, they have trouble paying attention, they interrupt conversations, we have trouble getting them under control, and the list goes on and on. It's frustrating for a parent, for an adult, for a teacher to see those things and deal with those things. I appreciate it. I come from a family of teachers. I know what they go through. From a chiropractic standpoint, I look at, all right, why is this beautiful child, what's wrong with how well the nervous system is functioning? Why is it so sensitive and reacting in such a way? And if you look at the pathways and how the brain works, there are certain pathways that are good to be firing, prominent, that need to be, and there's ones that are, I call them secondary, that we prefer not to be dominant pathways. And over time, when you, from a lifestyle standpoint, first off, we'll say if we don't feed child properly, if you look what a lot of kids eat these days, most of them fall into that realm, you set off a cascade of events which will favor one pathway over another. When you look at physical activity, as I talked about before, we have to deem exercise as a nutrient for the brain. It has to happen. It needs the activity to be positive. I find it funny when parents and teachers will tell me they won't pay attention, yet Johnny likes to play games. Yeah, he's like this. How is he when he's playing? Can you get his attention? No. He's locked into what he's doing. He's got the ability to pay attention when he wants to. When you start looking at postural things, you start looking at the position that they're in. When we're in a good position, our body, our joints feed the brain the right way. It feeds them the right information. When we start to change our posture, we get subluxated, like we mentioned before, which are those alignments in the spine. Basically, the joints start to lose their normal amount of motion. That motion is a critical nutrient for the brain to work right. It's a big word called mechanoreception. We need it for the brain to be stimulated to fire those higher pathways in the right way. When we don't, we create what's known as nociception. Another big word, think of that as negative input. Mechanoreception positive, nociception negative. When we have that negative input, we change the pathways and how they fire. Now we start to see an alteration away from normal. When we're feeding a child a diet that's a lot of simple carbs, no fruits and vegetables, or minimal, a lot of processed foods, cans, boxes, the likes, a lot of chemically induced things, they're not getting any nutrients. Your brain needs the right fuel. Your body needs the right fuel. Go back to the car analogy. If your car has got to have premium unleaded and you're sticking regular in there, will it run? Sure, for a while. And then it's going to die. That engine's going to die. Plain and simple. Was it geared to run on that? It will for a while, but not long. We do the same things to our body.